Hey, Hotties, we have way more for you over on the Hot Young Designers Club blog.
It's kind of like having an internet home base that we've been wanting to start.
Yeah, we're over there doing designer features, sharing industry news, and some business updates.
We've always wanted to be able to share our inspirations, so we needed a long form place to do it, and now we have it.
You got it. So head to hotyoungdesignersclub.com and check out the blog. Welcome to the Hot Young Designers Club podcast.
I'm Rebecca Plum, your big sister.
And I'm Sean Surha, your GBF.
We're not that hot or that young,
but we believe it's a state of mind that helps us build adaptable and profitable businesses.
We rely on the support of our design besties to get through each day.
So let's explore the emotional, practical, and humorous sides of being interior designers.
Welcome to the club.
Hey, Sean.
What's up, Rebecca?
It's about that time.
Ooh, I can't wait. I got shivers.
We've been getting ourselves all pumped up.
The Just Stop episodes always get me going. Like,
well,
I don't know.
we have some, we start adding this note just in our internal Asana of an ongoing list of things that if one of us has a little rant, we start adding stuff.
When I have when I have a little bitch fit, I'm like, write it down.
Yeah, or it's Bowen and Matt Rogers. I don't think so, honey.
I love. Okay, hotties, if you don't listen to Las Culturistas, you're missing out 100%. A stupid, funny podcast. If you love long form, especially.
I know I don't listen to it that much, but I always catch up on the TikTok quickies. But yeah, I love that. I don't think so, honey. I think we've been doing this longer, maybe, than Just Stop. Or no?
I don't
it's
know.
different though.
Are we socially relevant?
They have a little timer.
They have a timer. Yeah. Yeah. I like when they have their guests do it too, because I love that. They're good. Anyway. Okay.
So yeah. So if you're new here, Just Stop or we try not to be never mind. We talk shit, but
we do talk shit. We can be negative. It's just not malicious.
Yeah. Complain train. We try not to do that much. So this is our chance to just
we save them for these episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. This one is a little bit, it's a little shady. I don't know how much I'm going to need to take your lead on how much we say about this one. So,
well, we don't really know exactly what happened. So let's just.
What had happened was.
I mostly have Facebook just for the groups, just for the design groups. I've blocked most of my family. I don't care. I've unfollowed a lot of people from my Orange County high school.
Yeah.
Take from that what you will. So I'm really there for the groups. I've learned a lot. I don't know. It's helpful. Also, there's just fun fodder in there. So I went into one group that we're not going to name what it is, that I have been in since I started my business 7 or 8 years ago. And I went to search something. I think I was looking something up because there was a post that came up about my bookkeeper that someone else wrote, and I wanted to go check on it.
Yes.
And I went and realized, first of all, I couldn't find the group.
Yes.
And I was like, huh. But I was on my phone, dug a little deeper, finally found it. No longer a part of it.
Uh-huh.
So I just went, sent it to you. Are you part of this group still? Sent it to a couple other designer friends who are not affiliated with this podcast. And they were, but you were not in the group anymore as well.
And so this
is the gray area.
For my part, you guys know that I'm a serial unjoiner. I'm on a French exit from stuff if it's not bringing me joy. So, my marriage. I have to laugh at my own shit. I have to. Okay, so, wait, does the public pod know this? I'm getting a divorce. Okay, now you're up to speed. Separate from that, though, is I think I may have left this group willingly at some point because I just wasn't loving the posts, or they were being a little too noob. And sometimes I'm overwhelmed by what I'm reading and taking in. And instead of muting it, I might have left it. But I will say this. That group, I found a link to that group. That group is not visible to me, and it says it's not visible to me.
You have been blocked.
Facebook tells me that group is not accessible to me, which means someone blocked me from it. If I wasn't removed, I was blocked, which is even more malicious because if I wasn't in it, they had to find me and block my profile. And if I was in it, I got removed. But you aren't blocked. You can see the group. So it's something shisty for sure happened. And I am very unproblematic in Facebook groups.
Yeah, no, we rarely follow
boundaries.
The rules. Like if it's another coach's site, we definitely
I don't talk about the podcast. I don't drop links to products. I don't drop the show. Like I don't name drop. You're really good about it too. Like,
I'm mostly a lurker. Like I very rarely even comment. So I did comment on that post about that bookkeeper because it was a little bit of like buyer beware kind of stuff. And I wanted to like add, and it was getting juicy, that post. Like someone was like, this shouldn't be allowed to be on here. It's malicious or whatever. And
I know.
But it's a private group. So anyway, I thought it was related to that, but I checked with another designer who had the similar issue. She had also commented, but she was still in the group. So I definitely think it's us.
Oh, so, I don't doubt it anymore.
Noted.
I just find it shisty and rude. And you know me, I was like telling you immediately, I was like, we should ask to rejoin and then let them deny us. Like let them decline me.
Us?
Let them prove themselves. Because I feel like and we should say this, the moderator / owner of the group right now, have we ever actually met them in person?
No,
have we ever talked to them?
No. Or had any negative interactions that I know of?
Me neither. So do I care what other people think about me? Not really. Does it bug me when they don't even know me? A little bit.
Yeah, that's like assuming we're having ill will, which we didn't before.
Yeah. It's shisty. Something shisty went down.
I can still search the group. So I have not been blocked. Maybe after this airs, I will be, but we'll see. I won't be requested. I'm not here to try to stir shit up. Like
I am. If I could get to it, I would. But I'm blocked. Like it's literally inaccessible.
I wish you could.
Because I sent you that link. I was like, oh, here's like I found I Googled the group and found someone like a public link to the page. And I am literally locked out. Like they really don't want me in there.
So we're all like in competing businesses, like, but designers know how to be friends with other designers, like very much so. So I guess it's like, just stop feeling like there's not room for all of us. If that's indeed the case, or just stop. If you think we did something, like just stop assuming things about us and just have a conversation.
Like, why not send a DM if you really just stop avoiding the conversation of, hey, want to set some ground rules? Just making sure. Like,
but I don't know what we didn't even do anything. Like I think I've probably commented 3 times in 8 years.
And as evidenced by me not even knowing if I was in it before now I'm blocked from it, that tells you how often I was in there, if at all. So I definitely didn't do anything recently in that because there's no reason for it.
Or just send out I don't need to have a heart-to-heart about it, but just like a general, like, hey, we're just removing anyone who we
don't
think
like
is threatening. I don't know.
That's fucked up. It's so fucked up.
All right, well, that's that.
I mean, it is that. Yeah. Okay, this is another one. I have this one project. I've maybe have talked about it on the show, give or take, whatever. I'm not going to go into it because this is a public, family-friendly episode. But when I tell you, this is someone who, I'm putting this out there, I have turned them into design only, even though it was meant to be full service in the beginning. I do not want to be involved once the permit is approved for them anymore. Like I'm out. When I tell you that any surface this person could have touched to have a revision has been revised, and I have to say this to the degree that it's like my cabinet layouts in the kitchen, we got it. The floor plan is right. The cabinet profile, like it's like a slim shaker, nothing wild here. But when I tell you that they are questioning 5 different shades of white for the uppers and 16 different shades of green or blue for the lower cabinets, it nonstop. And the client is just, they have revised the project into oblivion, where it's just like, that's a perfectly good light fixture. Let me just put another one. Oh, I like that brass faucet. Let's just pick another brand's brass faucet. Like, okay.
Do you think it's a power move?
No, it's a indecisive. I don't like picking stuff and I'm afraid of committing to stuff. It's 100% the...
No, but she's not letting you decide. Or
I don't get to decide. And then she also isn't deciding to the degree that there's like a handoff that happened where I'm like, we're like,
done.
This has got to be it. This is my last round. Like, that's it. And we were picking some tile for a powder room space. And I'm just not. I picked a perfectly good tile the first time, and the price point wasn't even the issue. It's just like, oh, another off-white backsplash tile. Like, ma'am, you've revised this into oblivion. It could have been portfolio worthy at the beginning. You've turned it into just a basic bitch space
so
now.
They're degrading it every time too. It's not just like
time.
Finding a new version. It's like changing the design.
It's not even like I want you to go harder, more color, more boldness, more pattern, or like, you know what I mean?
I want a matte tile. I want a matte off-white tile, and you picked a glossy off-white tile.
It's not even like, it's not even down to like, because there's a range, right? It's like little variations of something of like, oh, I do like the idea of this brass hardware. And if it didn't just have these little bevels that I'm gonna have to keep clean all the time, like there's legitimate feedback where you're like, I hear you.
Yeah.
You want something that's easier to wipe down. Cool. Let's get one with little less facets and details on it. No big deal. That feedback, cool. That's personal stuff. I don't care about that. This has just turned into, why didn't you just do it yourself? Like build your own. What was this is a throwback to an episode. A camel. No, a horse designed by committee is a camel.
Yeah.
And that is what has happened with this client is like, you're almost there. You're almost going to get there, but you're off a lot. Like every little thing is off by just enough that you're like, something's wrong with that child.
And doesn't trust you. I mean, I think that's where you, especially, I mean, we all do, but like get frustrated. Like you're not listening to my expertise. You're not giving me like, news I can use. It's just like... Yeah,
it wasn't even like, I want it to feel more earthy and handmade. It's just like, I just want a different one.
I'm worried about this, but
yeah,
that I know. And I just like, I think you did the right thing for sure. And then I'm just like, kind of want to give her a big hug. Like you've got a lot going on in your brain.
There.
Yeah. Like that's a lot of probably anxious thinking that's happening and
like a neuroses or something.
It's gotta be exhausting.
Yeah, it is. And to the degree that I'm like, girl, you have to move on. It's just like
you're in danger, the contractor, girl.
Yeah, like so there's the question of like, okay, so does the contractor have everything that he would need from here? I'm like, aside from the stuff you still haven't made final decisions on that are in these sheets that I call out that you still haven't finalized, yeah, they have everything they need. And then she's like, oh, you could tell how neurotic. I'm not gonna talk about it because it's a very specific type of question. Yeah. But it was just like, girl, can you just let the the contractor's gonna be so annoyed. I know it. I know he's gonna be so annoyed that he's just not every little thing. Is that outlet in the right spot? Should it be right there? I already know she's gonna be a nightmare for that contractor. Like, trust the process. You hired experts.
Let it go. Yeah.
So yeah, just stop revising projects into oblivion. Like you're not making it better. You don't know better than anyone else. And these aren't aesthetic things we're talking about. Like these aren't like the little personal subjective things. These are just like,
but it becomes aesthetic when everything gets like tweaked.
Everything is plus or minus a few notches until it's out of harmony, you know? Like,
and I picked it for a reason. And you're spending money. It's just like a waste of everyone's time and money. Like, why? You could have had a service that like released you from information and decision making. Like,
I should actually hold on. I can tell you this. I'm going to tell you this right now. Let me look at the number here. Okay. So for perspective, I thought, okay, I'm going to be like not wild on the budget, but I'm just going to do this here so we know. Okay. So we haven't even gotten into any project management or procurement time. She's already doubled the estimated hourly design fee that I had when I sent the proposal for this project. That's what I mean. Like, and that, do you know how many revisions and little notches and things you'd have to touch over and over again to get it to double?
And she's paying for her own decisions too. Like, that's so...
Yes. So just for perspective on that, that's pretty bad. Did I get paid? Yep. I'm not at a loss. I'm not going to run out of anything, but girl.
Like, we want to be good stewards of our clients' money. Like, that's something that's still valuable to, like, we value that.
Agreed. But, so that was that.
Release.
Yeah. USA.
Wow. Poor girl.
I know.
I have a couple random things. Let's see. Okay, here's one. Speaking of annoying clients. This isn't about any specific client, but just in general, parenting culture of our modern day. I am a part of it. Anyone who's had children, I think in the 2010s and above, I at least can speak for. It's just wild. The helicopter mixed with anything goes, and it affects our work. Like, everything needing to be bulletproof. Like, so
I need a sofa that can withstand an atomic bomb. And you're like,
yeah. So I was like, name drop DMing with Fred Scully. Oh my God. What did I just say that? Dennis Scully. I just mixed two people of the same show.
Oh, now I want to see like an AI rendering of a baby with Dennis Scully and Fred Nicolaus from Business of Home. Do it. Fred, I know you're going to listen.
Plum.
Yeah.
Dennis Scully was talking about, he did a little, like, he does questions for designers in his stories sometimes. And he's talking about a story about our formal living rooms coming back. Like, what did they call it? There was a name that they had. But so I was DMing that I'm working on one at my own house. Like, I'm trying to bring my formal living room back in the way, like, 60s ranches always have, like that front picture window with the room. The carpet was probably all like vacuumed one direction, and you weren't allowed to like walk on it because you
looks like a baseball field when it's done. Yeah,
and the parents could tell if the kids like stepped in it.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm not making mine like fancy, but I do want it to be adults only vibes, and not in that way, Sean.
I know what you're thinking. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I know what you mean. Okay.
But just not a kid's room. And I hope this is a trend that's coming, because I just feel like there's just, back to parenting culture, there's just been this like, my kids can eat anything, anywhere. And you and our jobs have to like deal with that and listen and design around it. And like, he was laughing because he's like, yeah, back in my time, like my parents gave us a Hawaiian punch, but there were rules around where we could drink it. Like, you couldn't just have it on the living room sofa
outside while wearing a red poncho. Like,
yeah, with a hose nearby.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I feel like parents, I've seen clients do this. Like, their kids can eat spaghetti on the living room couch. Like,
hell to the no. Hell to the no.
Yeah, and just like don't
and the dog can like run through the mud in the backyard and just walk right in. And
God. And sometimes things happen and we do our best. But I just think like parenting, can we put some rules back into place so we can have nice things? Like, not everything has to be, I don't know, fully kid proof. Like,
Can you just like learn to not treat your home like shit?
Yeah, like just not be garbage people. Like we don't need to bolt down our
I'm with you.
lamps. Like, and I'm saying that as, I mean, you don't have children. I have one daughter who is pretty mild mannered as far as like physicality.
Yeah.
So she's not worried about the lamps getting broken or the furniture needing to withstand it being used like a trampoline park. But
yeah, okay.
But then again, still, I would argue like the better well-made the furniture, the more it can withstand that stuff. But I don't know.
But does it need to? No,
just like, or just clean.
Clean your house?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be like, look at me, I can take care of my house. I'm a no kids household or whatever. I'm not trying to like
parent
boast.
Shame.
Yeah, I get it. You and I both have talked about that extensively with people about there are phases of life, but some of the people are living in a phase of life that's insanity. The way that like the kids own the house.
I know. It's like the rugs are something that comes up a lot, and I understand like maybe it's not the phase of life to invest in a $10,000 rug, but also those rugs can be cleaned and they can withstand things. Maybe not Hawaiian punch or spaghetti, but
hold on. An antique or vintage vegetable dyed Persian rug, you can literally spill bleach on it and the dyes will not run.
I know. I tell people that all the time. I think I've told the story. My vintage rug that's in my living room was in my dumb brother bought it for his bar, and I'm like, dude, what? You're not going to put a nice rug in this bar. Like he thought it was going to be like sophisticated lounge. It did not be that. It was not that. He finally had to pull it out, and it was like, he's like, do you want this thing? Give me a couple $100 for it. And it had a black saturated beer stain that was probably like 4 by 3 feet big. Like disgusting. Yeah. But I took that and it was like, it was old. It's a pretty old rug, but I took that bad boy to the rug cleaner and it's fine.
Yep. So the right things will last, but people need to stop thinking everything has to keep up with this.
But also just like have a kitchen, like your kids can eat in the kitchen, like.
Or at a dining room where you don't put a rug in the dining room until they're older.
That's fine.
I don't, like, why are your kids running with, like, I was not allowed to touch pretty much anything. Like, and I still felt like I didn't have a limited childhood. Like, I got to have fun and be messy and do stuff, but like, did I get hosed off outside a few times because I got too fucking gross? And my dad was like, no. Like, not even to walk to the bathroom. He was just like, stand out here. My brother and I were a mess. And he just like hosed us down and then got a towel. And he was like, walk on the towels all the way to the bathroom and finish. Like, kids are I still got to do fun stuff.
And like, that will like Desmond got skunked last week. Like that.
And your house was not ruined because of it.
I don't know. Jury's still out.
TBD.
But I didn't just
change
open
the AC
door.
filters for sure.
Oh yeah, Terry's been out of town. I didn't just let him run wild though.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
you didn't let him rub on your sofa, you mean? Or
he would have loved to.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I think parents, like, can we just stop letting kids rule the roost in every way? They already like rule our minds. Like,
yes.
I don't know. Just
I agree.
We can have parents and we can have kids. They can overlap at some points, but can we just have
some basic
nice
ground
things?
rules?
Can we just have nice things?
That's all.
And you are allowed to have nice things. So
yeah, 100%. All right, we're in agreement. I mean, this one's for me a no-brainer, but yeah. Okay, this is another one. I'll go back to a job on this one. This is just stop overbooking yourself just for the money. And it's specifically the tile guy on a project who's really good. I mean, he's truly art. Tile installers can be artists. He's an artist. But he had the biggest bitch fit, and it was because custom tile got lead time got pushed out when he was originally supposed to do the install. Then they weren't there. Then when they did get there, we had some of the wrong ones. Then we had some damages that had to get replaced. Like, I get it. It's an annoying install. It's all over and his schedule got messed with, right? So like, okay, legitimately something annoying.
Yeah.
But he kind of lost himself a little bit with the contractor and was like arguing with the contractor. And I could have ghosted into a wall during that conversation. I would have.
Like Homer Simpson in the hedge?
Into the hedges. Like I was so embarrassed that he would be acting that way. And he's like, look, man, I just need to get this done and get my money. And the contractor's like, hey, man, if you need another progress payment because this is taking much longer to finish, tell me you need a progress payment. But I'm not going to pay you everything because it's not done. And then he says, well, I don't want to get a progress payment because then the final payment's so small, I won't be motivated to finish. And he's like, then what do you want? Like, what do you?
He just wants his own Just Stop episode?
And then he's like, everybody just needs, I have this job and another job. And, I can't get to all of them. I'm working 6-7 days a week now, trying to get caught up on stuff. And he's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're going to piss people off this is my contractor saying, you're going to piss people off by saying yes to everyone and never getting done with anyone. And you're just eking out days, And I think at this point, it was during a week where literally every day of that week, he was going to one of his different 7 clients in a row just to be like, well, I'm making progress. It's like, bruh, you need to spend dedicated time at one job and start getting it done.
Like, dig out. Like, he got himself in a hole and he's just like,
Yeah, couldn't get himself out of it. So overbooked himself, which granted, we're doing it for the money. I know he is too. You're not doing it because you love putting up tile, but he's like, look, I just want to make, like, I did appreciate, he said, I just want to make badass bathrooms. Like, he's just like, he likes what he does. He just is not set up to be resilient against time delays and schedule issues and all of that stuff. And it really is a job where it's like him and an apprentice or an assistant. And it's really dependent on the work that he physically can do every day. Like, just don't tell people you can't start,
Right. Don't even get started. Yeah. And like, I mean, he's crying about something that's out of everybody's control. Like, everyone's bummed that this is delayed. Like, what are we supposed to do?
Can he not just be happy that he has a significant wait list in front of him? Of work? Like,
well, it sounds like he needs to manage expectations in his time, and maybe he did get behind, so he's like behind the payment cycle of himself. So he probably does just need to, I mean, that's happened to me before, and I just have to push. Like, I have to like push, work myself out of the hole so that I'm caught up again. But it sucks. And I don't tell the clients, like, complaining.
I don't know how I don't know how to fix his problem. Well, so just stop taking jobs only for the money, or like just stop overbooking yourself, I guess. Like, there's a couple in there.
Or maybe you're not charging enough. Like, but that's also like, you're not going to get hired if you're hard to work with. So
if you're hard to work with and you're 3 months out, okay, we'll just keep moving on,
like, how good can you be?
I definitely put him in he's good. I've showed you some of the details. He's good.
Yeah. I mean, at least he's got that.
I know.
Hey, designers. In our jobs, we wear a lot of hats, but there is a big difference between having ideas and then the reality of actually putting these ideas into practice.
Yeah, totally. That's why when we developed the tools that worked for our businesses, we wanted to share them with other designers so they could grow too.
And since we're all busy, we made sure everything was ready to use to save you time.
And our templates include expertly crafted copy that can get you started when you're trying to write the right words for all your clients.
Yeah, so we didn't write your bio because we can't, but things that are process-oriented, we have all that written out for you.
Right. And we wanted to keep everything in a price point that's very accessible to designers of all levels, because we really believe that everybody should be able to afford to streamline their business and make it better.
So if you're a first-time visitor, you get 10% off on our shop at shop.hotyoungdesignersclub.com.
Yeah. So that's mine. What do you got?
I think sort of similarly to his problem, I'm on this mission right now, and I've talked about it a little bit about trying to feel confident enough, get good jobs. So like I have a taste of a couple of really great jobs right now that like are filling my bucket to the brim in every way.
Yeah.
And I still have some sprinklings of like, they're fine, like the clients are fine, but it's like a bathroom or stuff that's like not, groundbreaking. So my thing that I've been working on this year is like this idea of manifesting and staying true to myself and what I'm wanting for myself. And a lot of that has to do with saying no. So I've been getting little tests from people who want things that technically I need new jobs lined up, but
not these.
I'm getting like they're just going to be more of time fillers.
Yeah.
Or like one that the client, like I really like her, but she had like the whole room designed already. Like she knew what wallpaper, she knew this pattern of the tile. She just needs help with actual selections. And I was starting to go down the path of like giving her regular proposal, but then like, why?
What the fuck am I doing?
She doesn't need me for that. Like even just from her standpoint, like she'd overpay for my design ideas that I'm not even giving her. And then I wouldn't even take credit for the design. Like she's got good ideas. So I had to like, okay, think about this. Like you need to not take this job in a traditional way. I propose like doing designer on call or consulting with her so that she does still need help. Then that's the hard part for some of these kinds of projects is they can't do the drawings themselves. They don't know exactly what tile to pick.
Right. Construction detailing is not going to be within
like
their
she doesn't know how to
expertise.
do that. Yeah. Why would she? So
where did you land?
I gave her a designer on call proposal and she said, we're still deciding. She's still deciding, but she does want some construction drawings. So I told her we could do a lot of the work together during the time together, and that we could outsource a construction packet to my drafts person. That would just be like additional cost.
Okay.
So I don't know. We'll see. But I feel good about that. Like I'm not stretching myself, going on site visits, like worrying about that stuff when it's not like a portfolio builder for me. So just stop taking jobs you aren't excited about. I'm really trying to like listen to my inner voice and like recognize
that you don't need to do this.
I mean, maybe I do. I mean, that's just where like the economy comes into play. Like, I'm not needing work, but I do think there are some little things to just listen. Like if you're not excited, if you're delaying, like if I find myself delaying writing a proposal, I have to like question why. But there's different reasons for it. Sometimes I am scared because the project's too good.
Yeah, I've been on those calls with you.
Yeah, I know.
Where you're just like, it's the like the upper limit problem of it all. So if you guys go back to The Big Leap, if you haven't read The Big Leap, it's the, oh my God, like this could be huge. Like,
like one of my projects right now, it's definitely, I was scared about writing it.
But in this case, the project for that woman who you're suggesting designer on call for, it's not going to be good. Like, it's not going to be a portfolio-worthy giant project. Like,
it would if it was my design. It's just not going to be my design.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, genuinely, I think it's going to be a cute bathroom. Like, she's got some fun taste, but I wouldn't take credit for it. Like, she's done it. So,
yeah, you're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, and there's been a couple other projects that I've said no to recently that I'm just, okay, this isn't for you. Find a way to say no and get out. And I really need to be excited.
In general, in life, but also in
In
work.
work. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Like my greatest work comes when I'm excited. So
Agreed. I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
So I just need to tell the universe, like, I have room for more exciting projects.
You do. You do have room and the
I
exciting
mean, I don't
projects.
right now, but I will in like May.
Yeah, Q2 is looking good. Like,
well, yeah, Q2 is not looking good. Q2 is looking
sparse.
pretty quiet. Yeah.
Sparse, like a molting bird. Like,
yeah. So,
you know what? We have to molt and to get to the next stage of beauty.
like, shed my snake skin?
I was thinking more like a parrot, you know, where like they have to go through a molting season before they get all their beautiful feathers back and stuff.
Okay. Not like chrysalis where you turn into like a goopy goo and then a beautiful butterfly?
No, because you only go through that one time. And we unfortunately are going to have ups and downs. Like, we're going to have multiple molting phays of our business.
Yeah, I'm like a husky that's like losing its winter coat. Have you seen how ugly they look?
Blowing you with a hair dryer to get all the gross stuff out before your
like
fluffy phase. Yeah,
tufts like all like stuck all over their body.
Yes. So right now we're in the molting husky phase where you're like, okay, I need to get back to the pretty phase, but it's going to be a minute. I got to go through this.
Just as far as pipeline, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. As far as current jobs, I'm pretty fulfilled. So,
yeah. But mine are like, a lot of mine are far out. Like, I have some in construction, close to being done, a few that wrapped. Like, I was going through my projects recently and kind of looking through kind of what's in there. And I was like, oh, actually, a lot of these are kind of disappearing here. Like, I need to do something about that.
Like pipeline?
But like
because you have long-term
I have the long-term stuff that's like with an architect still, and I still have lots of design work and lighting plans and cabinetry detail. Like, I have that stuff, but like the fruition of that and the furnishing phases for two of those are so far out because they don't even have permits yet on some of them. So those are so far out. Like, that's nice to have, but some shorter term stuff that moves a little faster in between, which would typically be like furnishing, pretty light. Like, need those that I can like conceivably get done in this calendar year and not have to worry that they are going to trail into 2026. Like, that stuff, not in love with right now. Like, would love to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. I remember I went to this, this is really dating me, this Franklin Covey seminar. Oh God, this is probably 20 years ago. You know what Franklin Covey is, right?
Like a planner.
Yeah. Like they had the full planner system and they had this seems crazy now. Like they had full stores that were just dedicated to all the inserts that you could buy and the pens.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about this in so long. But I went to this.
It's a whole system. Like, you would go to classes on it.
Yeah, no, I think that's what I went to. Like, my company that I worked for, like, sent us to this day, and they teach you, like, time planning and organization and stuff. But one of the things that they use, the visuals, was if you have a big jar, and that's your day or your week, and first you put in the big rocks. You have, like, 5 big rocks that you can fit into the jar. Yeah. But that's the only amount that will fit. But then you can start putting in smaller rocks to fill in the holes around that. Mm-hmm. And like you can keep getting smaller and smaller rocks, and then you can end up filling it with sand. And that's like the minutia of it all.
Okay.
So I kind of think about that sometimes as a visual with projects. Like, it'd be great to have like 2 to 3 big rocks and then like a handful of pebbles. I don't really want sand.
Yeah, like the
project
like to
size.
me, like, the admin of our businesses sometimes becomes sand, but if it's just talking about a jar of project only,
right?
There's still a lot of little sand things in there, like me having to order one piece of hardware because
pissed about that
because it broke. I'm annoyed because the shipping is more than the piece of hardware. Like, it is what it is. This is literally like I'm complaining about something that I cannot change, so I need to move on. But it bugs me because
I
I'm
wrote
like,
a
God
whole
damn
blog
it.
post about it. I know.
Just like, God damn it. Couldn't it just be perfect? But no, it can't be perfect. That's just literally not the job we have. So sorry, designers.
Spoiler
If that's
alert.
a surprise. Spoiler alert. If you aren't aware, nothing will ever be perfect.
Our
And if
jobs
it is,
are really annoying.
if it is, you need to make a really big offering to the gods to thank them for a project that went smoothly without a hitch completely. Because that is, you might only get one in your lifetime. Like, keep going.
No, I mean, I wouldn't even ask for that. I just want more projects where the clients understand completely. And I do have 2 of those right now. And that is probably really the key to all of it.
Agreed.
But yeah, so the rocks analogy, that's something I want to think about. Like, what do those look like? And like, how can I target or plan my time based around those rocks and know like, okay, I've got some like mid-sized pebbles spots and I want them to be furnishing because that will move its way through the system faster.
Yeah.
Because that's another part of it is like how quickly do they move? Like you could put a couple little powder rooms, but those can still take 6 months. Like that's annoying.
I know.
I don't want to do that.
No, and I'm definitely moving people towards that phase of, oh, this is small. The only thing I'm going to do is the design. Like I have quite a few. I'm willing to do the bathrooms still, but I'm only doing the design work.
Not project manage.
I can't be involved with your permits and your project management and all of this stuff for something so small. Like I'm just going to pull my hair out and it's not worth it. They're not going to, they might be cute. Like they might be good, but
it's also like how much
chase it.
And then I know I have one right now that I'm doing project management on, but light, and I sent them like a full FF&E schedule and like the list of everything they needed to purchase and who's buying what and where they get it, the link, like I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
And I found out today that they only ordered the build.com Ferguson stuff and not the like special order antique sink. It's not antique, but it's from that antique plumbing supply place.
Oh no.
And I didn't chase, and I'm not seeing, like, I don't know what's coming. I'm not going to the
because they were in charge of that.
Yeah. So, but from their standpoint, like, since I am there, they probably thought I was catching it.
I hear you.
I mean,
but
they're
also,
busy people.
But when you logically think the rest of it through and
they're not mad at me or anything, I don't think. But but I was like, if I had been like not there, then they would have been on it probably more.
Yeah. Like, of course she's not checking this and knows that we're missing this. Or, I mean, I had one of those this week where it was truly like I messed up, but I didn't place the order at least, but it was for a bunch of plumbing supply stuff. And 2 of the hand shower wands were on the original order. And they asked me, please look this over. Tell us if we missed anything or if anything is wrong. Like go through the SKU. Because it's confusing when you look at proposals from like electrical and plumbing places and whatever. It's all these random SKUs. And I get it. And there were things that I did catch when it happened. But I did not catch that it was 2 hand showers and no supply hose for the hand shower. So I mean, shit happens, but they won't be able to use the hand shower right now. And I think the contractor has like a spare, like chrome or stainless one that he's like, I think it'll fit. So I might just put this on so they could start getting the bathroom back until that one shows up. Because of course it's a Kohler vibrant modern brass that is not available right now. Like, of course it is. Except I think I'm going to get them to go up. This is like how you solve. They really wanted the 60-inch one because I don't want a gigantic hose either. But that's the one that takes longer. But there's the 72 that's in stock. And I was like, just take it. Just take it. Like, what's another foot?
It's really 6 inches once it's
you cut in half because it goes, like I was just like,
you can clean the whole shower with it.
Well, and the bench is a little bit further, so now you could get over to the bench and you know, I don't know, whatever you might. They're going to do what they want. The plumbing guy is responsive and helpful. He actually like he actually lives like past their house, and the showroom is like the other direction. And so he's like, I will pass their house, grab the one they need to get rid of, and drive it back to the showroom because I happen to drive past that area. So that was really nice of him.
That's nice.
Instead of them having to make a drive over to take it there to start the exchange return process. So sometimes they do right by us. Speaking of showers, do you ever just drive around and look at... Actually, this is a rhetorical question because I know the answer is that you do. Do you ever just drive around and look at the stupid decisions that people make when they do projects on their houses? And
yeah,
how can we not? But the specific thing that I can always spot, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, is the ugly ass little tiny sliver shower windows that people put in. I'm talking the ones that are like, they look like they're 10 to 12 inches tall and like 3 to 4 feet wide. And it's like a little slider.
I took one out, recently.
And they're fucking hideous. Like, they're so tiny, and you can tell they're placed up high, which...
You can't even reach it. Like, you can't even open it without, like, slipping.
It's getting stuff up on it. Like,
people, tall people put their shampoo up there. And
so, to me, there's so many reasons I hate it. One, why add a window when it doesn't serve the purpose of a window? It's not letting light in.
It's right under the eave. Like, there's no light.
There's no light coming in. Most people will never open them to actually get the ventilation benefit out of it, because when I tell you I drive around and I spot them, I like never see them open.
They're always kids' baths or something, yeah.
So they're never open. So you're not getting ventilation. You're not getting light. Why the fuck did you put it in? It's like so stupid to me. The thought that it's like, couldn't you just get occluded glass? Just get the frosted glass. Just get a regular size window. And then this was one of my construction ones last year. They were like fighting back against this. And the contractor was like, you have an exterior wall, you have a bathroom, please put a regular window in here. Please put a proper size. Girl, we're talking about 3.5 feet wide by, I think, 26 or 28 inches tall. That's not even that big. Like, I would go bigger. I would put the biggest window I possibly could in my shower. But and then they're just like, but it faces towards the neighbor's house. Bitch, we live in the suburbs. Every window you have faces a neighbor. Like, you're worried about privacy? People know that's your bathroom when they see the window size. They're going to know you're in there. They can't see you if it's privacy glass.
Well, that part, yeah.
What are you doing? Putting your boob up to the glass and rubbing it around? Like, what are we? I'm just trying to, like, I don't understand this obsession with, like, I need so much privacy. Like, plant a hedge in front of, put a bush along your fence line. It just needs to block that one window if you don't want to plant a whole hedge. Like,
speaking of bush, yeah.
Oh, God. If you don't want people to see your bush, put a bush in front of it. It just really bothered me. I just see them all the time, and the people who are
but what are they worried about? Like, I could see maybe some pushback if you're like pushing for clear glass, but
no, it's literally just like, well, when the lights are on, people will know we're in here. Are you kidding me? That was literally what that one person said.
What are you doing in there that you're like, having so much shame around?
What? Yeah, like everybody poops, girl. Like we all like. What are we talking about here?
Do you think that's really what it is? Like, oh, Susie's going potty again. Like,
gosh, they're always in their bathroom. It's like they're a whole family of fucking 5 people. Of course,
my kid never turns the light off. It's like I've turned into my dad in 1985. Like, turn off the damn lights.
I just don't get the true objection. Doesn't make sense to me. Of just like. It's those types of thought processes that bug me with people where it's so neurotic, but for no,
but I always want
you
to know,
will
like,
never be able to overcome it because they are a type of person who will always have another thing.
But do they want no window? Is that what they were voting for?
Essentially, yeah.
Because a sliver would still like be the
they didn't
bathroom indicator.
And I said, I'm like, don't even put that in if you're gonna do this. And it's like, what's the point? And they were even like going back and forth with the contractor on that one of just like, well, what's the cost difference? He's like, look, we're talking about a couple $100 because it was like vinyls, like inexpensive stuff. He's like, The little sliver or the one he's talking about, this is so tiny, but he's like, please don't do this. You have an exterior wall. You're lucky to have a bathroom with an exterior wall. You need natural light in your house. Please, like, they ended up putting one in smaller than both me and the contractor's recommendation on that job. That was last year. But they did put they ordered it with the frosted panel. Okay, fine. I get it. Like, you want privacy. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But that idea of like the tiny slivers,
I know.
Like fuck all the way off, like completely off. Like,
I replaced one in a bathroom recently that the measurement on it, like I think it was 10 inches tall.
Ew.
By like 2 feet or less. It was so gross and weird, like, and it's super ugly. High.
It looks
like a hole in your house. It's just like you put a hole in your house for no reason.
Yeah, you might as well have like one of those glass blocks. It just in the middle of the wall somewhere. Like, it looks so stupid.
But that could be kind of like an art installation.
Just one? I like the houses in Palm Springs where they kind of have like some sort of design to some of them where they're not all together like in a grid, but they space them out to let light like up a stairwell. Or you could, but
design
do you you want a bunch of sliver sliders running around your house? Like, ew. It's just, we just need to stop with the sliver slider shower windows because you would never put it in a bedroom. You'd never put it on a living room at the front of a house. Like, what are we doing?
But some of those 90s builds with those stupid ass windows that are like 12 feet off the ground and they're like little squares, like 3 in a row. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Those are like the builder windows. Yeah.
So annoying. And they're like the little radius edge corners, like orange peel.
I know what you're talking about. And I think that there's a place where like there's a place it could work, but the way they're being used is not where it could work for those little squares. I don't think it works at all for these little slivers ever. It's not a hot take. It is a cold take. They are terrible. Ooh. They're terrible.
No, they're terrible.
Like, fight me. If you're listening and you have a good case for it, please don't bring it to me.
And it's like bathrooms, like if it's like a little 1-story post-war cracker box house, whatever, like put a little skylight in. Like, it makes a huge difference.
It's wild. But I get a visceral reaction when I'm driving around and see them and I'm like, another fucked up house. God dang it.
And
like,
it's on the front of the house. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm free of that now. Okay. Thank you for listening.
I have one more that I thought of, and it kind of reminded me of it. Like, because when you asked if I drive around and think about that, I was in a Facebook group recently. Somebody said, oh my gosh, I had a friend say, as a designer, you just must go to every restaurant and just look at all of the design. And the designer who responded or who wrote the post said, like, I would never do that. Like, I'm off work. Like, I'm not thinking about design when I'm out enjoying my life. And I was like, what? Like, that's literally all that I do.
We aren't? Like,
I'm not doing it at my friends' houses, like, in that standpoint. Like, I'm not critically looking at people's homes unless they ask me to. But restaurants, it's my biggest pet peeve. I just went to a new restaurant in the area recently, and you could tell that they spent money on the interiors, like a lot of light fixtures, a lot of, like, there were things like design decisions made in a lot of places. It wasn't just floors, walls, ceiling. They had ceiling details, like a lot of stuff. And it just wasn't good. And I was so distracted my whole meal. So I'm definitely not like that designer and all the people who replied and said they're the same way. But
how can we not?
I don't know. You and I, like, I guess we're just critical angles. I don't know.
I really am confused. Like,
that's one thing.
That's like a chef going to a restaurant and not thinking noticing about the food. Like,
I know you can turn it off. And I guess that's the thing, like at a friend's house, like I do turn that off because I'm not trying to criticize my friends.
I don't say anything, but I do. It's there. It's there.
I mean, I could.
Like, that rug is clearly the wrong size for this living room. Like, I'm not going to say it.
I could write a report about it at the end, but I am not sitting there fixating, I guess.
Okay.
But a restaurant, I fixate because it actually pisses me off that you can tell this was an owner designed situation. They thought they knew better and they spent some money.
Like they spent the same amount of money on terrible design that they could have on good design.
Yes. And like I could have helped them make some high-low decisions to where like instead of spending mid on everything, like you could have mixed in some high-low so that it ended up looking interesting and cool instead of everything being the same exact bad brass color or fake oak or whatever. And just like recognizing like, oh, those are IKEA pendants.
But you think there was a designer involved though?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just
who did all
that?
Just like the restaurant owner decided? Or
it's like it was
maybe an architect was involved just to get the structure approved or something? Like
I don't know.
It
was giving owner's wife.
Oh. Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think and then overall, like I feel like this restaurant's not going to make it because it's missing anything with soul.
Like there's nothing special.
Yeah, the food was fine. Like, and I just think, I just get those like premonition feelings of like, this isn't it.
Can you like write an anonymous letter?
To say what? I'm writing it right now to the universe of restaurant owners. Like,
I know,
spend some money. Like, we want to feel like we're not in a nicer place than where we live.
Can you write them a letter, just like an anonymous letter, where you're just like, look, I don't want to, I'm trying not to be shady here. I really want you to know this comes from a place of love. Please hire an interior designer to help save your business. Like, please.
I mean, I'm not going to do that, but.
Can you make a fake Google review profile? Can you?
No, I would never. That's bad juju.
I have a fake Yelp profile that I had to build.
That's bad.
Because I can't have me, because I have the me profile with my name and my photo, and I'm linked to it as my business owner for my business Yelp or whatever. So that one has, and I've written reviews for vendors and shower glass people and tile people, and I've done nice stuff for those, like public stuff. When I want to write a nice review, I will write it through that. But sometimes I gotta leave a
Shadow
baddie.
Sean.
Then Like Dark Brandon has to come out. Like just the hotties know about they're gonna know the Dark Brandon reference, right? Like the meme. Please, you guys tell me that. I'm chronically online. So this stuff is like in my glossary.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what Dark Brandon?
I think we've proven our algorithms have some overlap, but there's a lot of.
Okay. So Dark Brandon.
Is this like comic book shit?
No, this is actually related to Joe Biden.
Oh.
So basically, like when he, like, it's a whole meme that was created around like when he would like make bad comments or kind of shade MAGA or Trump or Republicans or whatever, they would call him Dark Brandon. Because then like the whole MAGA thing was saying, let's go Brandon.
Yeah.
So then they became Dark Brandon whenever he would like be shady or do something kind of funny, or they'd be and then the campaign kind of rolled into it and it became Dark Brandon. So now that's like, instead of, me on the internet, like Shadow Sean, it's Dark Sean. Because I can't publicly write that stuff or say that stuff.
I mean,
like
that, I guess
I know.
When you don't have anything nice to say.
I know. And it's usually like, I do it as, is this something they can control? Like, is this a cleanliness issue in the restaurant? I need to say something. Like, I'm not coming back here because I saw a roach. Like, that's controllable.
I'm not coming back here because I saw too many hexagon shapes.
So that it's like generally I review stuff where it's kind of goes along with that philosophy of like, is it something they can fix, like broccoli in their teeth, kind of like, can this be fixed quickly without embarrassment?
Like somebody has like a kind of interesting thing on their face, like I'm not gonna say anything or make fun of them.
Yeah, but like, girl, you did all your makeup bad and you look like Bobo the Clown, like, okay, well, I guess I got to let you leave it the whole day now. This isn't just your lipstick that went wrong. Like, the whole face is drawn that way today. Like,
we could have taken off an accessory before leaving the house.
Yeah. Like, the blush looks like you got, like, you know, some people have blush blindness. Like, I walk around, I'm like, girl, were you on the ski slopes all day? Like, you got, like, red cheek. Like, calm down. Anyway, just stop with blush blindness.
And eyebrow blindness, too.
Oh, yeah. All of them. Every one of them.
Yeah. So restaurants, I know we're on budgets. I know food costs are high, but like we can do creative things. Yeah. We can do creative, interesting things with a little help.
Yes. What's that? I get by with a little help from my friends. Like Wonder Years.
I mean,
it's a song.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
The Beatles.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I should know that, but you know, yeah.
Okay.
If you guys, if the hotties think of just stops that you want us to talk about, slide them into our DMs on Instagram. They might make it into a future episode, but you do have to give us enough background information that if we don't already know what you're talking about, we got to be able to talk about it
on your behalf. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to give us something. You could send us stuff that backs it up if you want, if it's something design and you want to just like forward us the thing and be like, look at this post or look
some,
at this thing.
Sneaky screenshots. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Send it our way. You know, we love some hot tea.
We can be anonymous.
I'll try.
Shadow Sean will read the
Shadow
post.
Sean. Yeah. Shadow Sean will. I can't. That's why we have a Patreon, because I could talk about it privately behind a little bit of a paywall that, like, hopefully I can reveal more. So, anyway.
Yeah, the Patreon is definitely where more of this kind of chatter happens. Just FYI.
Yeah, you get just stop all the time. Okay. So, hotties, until next time.
Stay hot, designers.
Thanks for listening to the Hot Young Designers Club podcast.
For more on what we talked about today, check out the show notes.
Your support helps us grow, so share with your design besties.
And subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
Our conversations continue on Instagram.
And be sure to download our monthly resources on our website and our Patreon.